Hey there. Welcome to ShareTech. This is Raj here. It's a relaxed weekend. And if you look carefully, you can see behind me, of course, I have to point this way. You see Ruffian, my dog. He's always there every day when I'm recording out here. He follows me everywhere. So next time you see my video, watch out for Ruffian if you can. Okay, that said, today I want to share some insights with you. This is going to be more of technical on a macro scale, and I'd like to get your feedback about this. And if you want more details, check out the Substack article. It's very detailed with graphs. This is the most detailed Substack article I've ever done. So check that out and leave your comments there as well. So I'm going to give you my quick view. Let's go to the TradingView platform. Okay, let's start off with S&P 500, right? So in S&P 500, we already said that we are creating a head and shoulder pattern, and the price action that happened on Friday more or less supports the formation of a right shoulder, and it touched this line of support, minor line of support, and bounced back. So we'll have to see what happens next week. But if we continue in this trajectory, then we are confirming a head and shoulder pattern that is pretty deep, which means if the neckline is breached, the correction will be significant. Likewise, when we look at NASDAQ, we are continuing to form the head and shoulder pattern. Again, it's a deep head and shoulder pattern. The neckline is somewhere out here. So you can imagine the amount of drop we might get if the neckline is breached. Now, keep these things in mind and let us look at supporting factors. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is that if you look at the 10-year yield, US 10-year yield, right, you can see that we have a reverse head and shoulder pattern. Now I'm just going to recalibrate this chart so that I can show you the full extent of where we can go because of this. So this reverse head and shoulder has a neckline out here. In my opinion, this red line is the neckline. We went up, we came back down, but we did not confirm below. On Friday's market action, we came back up again, and we are at 4.186 as of close of market. Now the target for this reverse head and shoulder is 4.415. So this is bearish for the market. Now, if you look at the 10-year Japanese yield, you can see that the RSI is pretty high. MACD is also bullish. The RSI kind of went to the peak and then it settled down. So it could go back again all the way up to 84.02. That's a possibility that you cannot ignore. We have a bull flag out here, right? So you know what happens when the bull flag is breached. This is the flagpole. So if we take this flagpole and place it at the point of breach, it will show us some number out here. Anything above 1.81 can support a yen unwind, in my opinion. Now, what is the catalyst for that? I think the RSI, which is pretty strong, the market sentiment, which is pretty strong, all of those could lend to the upside for the 10-year yields. Now, along with this, we should look at the Japanese yen, USD, JPY combination. The more it goes up, the less it favors a yen unwind trade. So this is where we have a mixed signal. But I am thinking that if I look at the target here for this bull flag, so this is the flagpole and this is the bull flag. The target gives me 159.994 or 160.015. But I think the bull flag is faltering because instead of going up, it has come down here. And you know me, usually I think that there could be multiple bull flags and bullish pennants on the way to the target. So I still hold that. But if you look at market sentiment, it's bearish. MACD is bearish. Momentum is just above average. So given these things, I would like to watch this carefully. If this starts coming down, if the USD Japanese yen pair starts coming down, then I think that will add to the support for a yen unwind trade. So this is what I am thinking overall about the market. Now add on top of that the fact that Oracle earnings and projections spooked the market. Then came the earnings and projections for Broadcom. We're already seeing rotation out of tech. There are 7 companies in the index. They are AI tech companies, which constitute a huge portion of the index. So if money starts moving out of them, of course, other stocks might gain, but there would be a deceleration. And if that money, instead of going into other stocks, starts going into bond, or due to yen unwind getting out of the US dollar itself, then those things can be critical for the market. So that's a big risk. And now, if you look at the fundamentals and the other factors out there, we have the Epstein files, the photographs being released from the Epstein estate through the Senate subcommittee or House subcommittee, whichever is looking at it, curating it. They have released 19 photographs so far. They may release more. Now, I personally believe that the action that we are seeing in Venezuela is a distraction. And Venezuela has got a whole lot of oil reserves. So one possible angle could be that some oil companies are lobbying to get their hold on that oil, which can happen with a regime change out there. So that could also be a possibility. Otherwise, it could be a distraction from the Epstein files. We're going to have a situation where very soon the Obamacare enrollment premiums are going to be significantly high, and a lot of people are going to be really upset. Right now, if they don't think about politics and if they are just going about their lives, that's going to hit them and that's going to wake them up. The inflation is already happening in the markets, and the tariff has not been relaxed as such. That is still heavy tariff. Trade deals are not complete. Farmers are unhappy. They are getting a subsidy, but they are saying the subsidy is not sufficient to offset all the losses that they have incurred. And their point is that we don't want to be dependent on the government for our livelihood. We are capable of growing crop, selling it, and making our own living. We don't want to depend on the government. And if the government changes and they don't give us money, then we are out. So farmers are not happy. The recent spate of elections in different places have shown a tide towards the Democrats. So within the US, the political uncertainty is there. Fed Chair Powell is going to go away, and whoever comes in as the next Fed Chair, there is always going to be an aura that they are just going to be bearish and reduce the interest rates in order to meet Trump's requirement. So if they come with that baggage, whoever comes in there, and the departure of Chair Powell will be seeming to be like the last institutional to go out. And apart from that, we also have a lot of problems overall in the geopolitical sense. Apart from Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East conflict, right now we have a situation where EU wants to take in Ukraine into the Union, and Viktor Orban is standing in the way, and they are planning to neglect his objections. And at the same time, we have the US doctrine, which aims to break up the European Union. So there is an intensification of geopolitical conflicts. All of these could materialize in the short to medium term. So I'm thinking that the bearish factors are much higher. Now, friends, I would like to hear from you. Remember, I'm a retail investor like yourself, and I'm being bold enough to produce videos and share my thoughts with you without fear of ridicule. So I have to be rewarded with your thoughts. Please put in the comment section what you think about it. I would also encourage you to subscribe to my Substack, which is absolutely free. Read the sister article for this video in the Substack, which is even more detailed, and share your thoughts, because my idea is that ShareTrek should be a retail investor channel where we form a retail investor community to crowdsource market wisdom, trade ideas, and succeed in the market. So please join me, give your comments, give your feedback, and that will help me to shape my thoughts as well and come up with new videos so we can jointly align our thoughts, align our ideas, and be in a position to do proper analysis of fundamentals and technicals and be successful in 2026. Thanks, friends. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.